This is a car. This is a phone. This is a car. This is a phone. This is a... What the flying monkey? This is a phone. Apparently, this is what automakers want your car to become. Your car used to let your phone do the complicated software stuff. Now automakers want to do it themselves. Do they even know how to do that? This is a bad idea.
Hola, I'm MITT, and this is the Backyard Mechanic channel. Today I am going to discuss AI in passenger vehicles.
Hey, what are you doing? The AI talk isn't until later in the video. Just go away. Hola, I'm Mike, the Backyard Mechanic. GM is getting rid of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Rivian is getting rid of Alexa, and both companies are replacing them with their own software and AI assistants. More on AI later. I've already got an iPhone that doesn't talk to Windows, Alexa that doesn't talk to my Google security cams. Now they want to build a car that doesn't talk to any of these things? All I need is right here. Can you just throw it up there on your ridiculously oversized screen for me? 55% of car buyers say if a vehicle doesn't come with CarPlay, they won't consider it. GM seems hell-bent on alienating more than half of their customers. But they've got a good reason, right? The reason GM is doing this is for altruistic, moral, and total selflessness. Money. They're looking at big tech stock valuation and saying, we want that. For this section to make sense, I need to explain PE ratios. So you don't get bored, I'm going to show Socket helping me shuck corn. A PE ratio, or price to earnings ratio, shows how many dollars investors are willing to pay for every dollar of a company's annual profit. An investor will use a common 10x earnings multiple to a company to reflect profit potential and risk. So a $100 annual profit would value the company at $1,000. Holy cow, even I can't focus with Socket being so cute. Hey, let go of my corn! Historically, legacy automakers get stuck with single-digit PE ratios, usually 5 to 8x, because vehicle manufacturing is a low-margin, capital-intensive grind. By contrast, tech companies command massive multipliers because their software products scale with near-zero marginal cost. Traditional car makers are desperately trying to transform into tech companies, specifically to trick Wall Street into valuing them like high-margin tech growth stocks. But wait, we've left out a rather important car maker in this discussion. Tesla has almost 140x PE ratio, and this was a year ago. Today it's more like 400x. Is Tesla making that much profit? No. They make around $4 billion a year, which ain't shabby, but that valuation is over $1 trillion. The reason that math ain't mathin' is Tesla is considered a growth stock, and PE ratios are looked at differently. Wall Street values Tesla as a future-forward bet on robotics, AI infrastructure, and energy autonomy. In other words, they're betting that Musk, who popularized the electric car and privatized space travel, will pull another rabbit out of his hat. Well, I've got a hat. I'll pull this out. This ain't a rabbit. Well, this is what GM is trying to do. Pull this out of a hat. I need to put this back before Mrs. Backyard Mechanic notices it missing. How are they going to trick Wall Street? By shifting towards software-defined vehicles, or SDVs. The difference between traditional vehicles and a software-defined vehicle comes down to computers. Instead of 100 different microcontrollers running 100 different tiny code bases talking to 100 different components, an SDV runs one consolidated operating system across a couple of powerful computers. Those 100 different microcontrollers had the software installed in their circuit boards, like your microwave or dishwasher. And like them, they don't talk to each other. SDVs have a few computers that communicate over a network, and more importantly, they can be updated over the air, or OTA. This allowed car makers to push software that can improve fuel economy, update adaptive cruise control, lane centering, and automatic braking, fix software-related recalls without a dealer visit. You can also download apps. Of course, you can download Mario Party on the infotainment center, but you can also do it for the drivetrain. For example, a smart off-road app that takes camera feeds to run custom terrain algorithms for deep sand or rock crawling. A security app that uses external cameras, proximity sensors, and neural networks to detect threats while parked, and flash lights, record video, and alert your phone. A teen driver app that enforces speed limits, caps engine torque, mandates safety belt usage, and logs aggressive driving. This sounds simple enough. Oh, you know it's not. So all they have to do is use software that talks to 100 different components and gets them all to work together. And hey, it's more than 100 because that's just one car. The software needs to work on all the components on all of their cars. And don't forget, these hundreds of parts all have their own microcontroller on them. So that's a massive logistical challenge because they have to get all of their suppliers to completely change their parts. Or in the cases where that doesn't happen, adapt parts that still have controllers. Hey, Windows only took 20 years to make working with different hardware feel seamless. Seamless-ish. Volkswagen has already tried this with their VWOS, developed by their internal developer division, CARIAD. CARIAD. It stands for Car I Am Digital. Those clever Germans. It failed. Volkswagen started the program in 2020 and threw in the towel 5 years later due to buggy, freezing screens, missing features, and massive delays in vehicle launches. Not wanting to be like Volkswagen, GM thought, hey, let's use Android. So they got rid of Android Auto and went with Android Automotive. Yeah, GM got rid of Google and went with Google. To be clear, Android Auto is like CarPlay, while Android Automotive is an Android-based operating system that talks to a vehicle's components. Is this going to work? The rollout began in 2022 in select vehicles, so we have some data. Some owners of GM vehicles lost built-in services like navigation, OnStar, vehicle apps, and even Super Cruise. And some of them reportedly went weeks or months while waiting for repairs. As you can imagine, it's frustrating to have to go into the dealership to have the thing fixed that is supposed to fix your car without having to go into the dealership. So, software-defined vehicle, check. Getting it to work correctly, time to double down and kill CarPlay by 2028. They're giving GM customers 2 years to get used to the idea, I guess. By then, they expect software-defined vehicles to start overtaking the entire lineup, complete with GM's application layer called Google Built-in. Not really sure who's using who here. This sounds like a lot of work, but fewer trips to the dealer, cool apps that make my car go faster and climb rocks? I'm in! What's the catch? GM just wants their customers to be happy, taken care of, satisfied, and to give you your money. They don't just want your money when you purchase the car, well, and continue to make payments to GM Financial. They want more of your money. Heated seats, monthly subscription, cha-ching! Actually, that's not true. Thanks to the BMW heated seat subscription debacle, car makers have figured out that customers get really angry when you lock down the mechanical stuff that comes with your vehicle, only to try and get you to pay to unlock it. You like that new $3,000 refrigerator, don't you? For only $15 a month, we'll unlock the doors and let you put food in it. But what will customers put up with? Locking down the software. Hey, you're the customer. I don't know why you put up with it. The rock climbing feature? Gotta pay for it. SuperDrive? Pay for it. Keep your daughter from driving fast? Pay up. Do you agree? Click here. Car makers want to monetize you over the entire life of the car through monthly subscriptions. Can't afford $100 a month for SuperDrive? You can have it for the day. Just sit and watch this ad about Cialis. Hypothetically. And then hopefully, someday, car makers can show Wall Street that 20% of its revenue comes from subscriptions rather than sheet metal, and they will get that sweet, sweet PE ratio. But not only that, car makers want to do the same tracking as Facebook. You know how much you love that when you're talking to a friend about adult diapers, hypothetically, and you jump on Facebook and you see ads for adult diapers?
What?
That's called target marketing. I prefer surveillance advertising or Big Brother. And no, we don't love that. Well, car makers love that. Everybody else is spying on you. We want to spy too. That data is valuable. They can sell your driving habits to insurance companies. Oops, I guess they're not allowed to do that anymore. They'll figure out a way. So they are slowly turning the car into a phone, but they're not done. Oh no, they're not. You know how you ask AI to show you a recipe for cake and it gets into a hallucinogenic state and tells you to use 24 eggs, and instead of cream cheese frosting, it has you make cottage cheese frosting? You know, a frittata cake like you asked for? Don't you want that experience in your car? GM is adding AI. They're not doing their own, of course, but whose will they use? There's so many to choose from. I don't know. Google? Yep. But we've picked on GM enough. Rivian has been making the news. They've had Alexa in their car for the last 5 years. But note, Alexa was not AI. It was more of an upper-end voice-controlled decision tree. Well, Rivian just killed Alexa, replacing it with their own AI, made with Google. Not as funny. Okay, kind of funny. That's not the best part. Alexa was free. Rivian AI is going to cost you $15 a month. Do you agree? Click here. No? No more native built-in Spotify, Apple Music, hands-free calling, or text messaging. Owners are pissed. Features that they bought the car with, like hands-free texting and native voice commands, are now locked behind a $15 a month paywall. Imagine paying $80,000 for a truck only to find out sending a text with your voice now comes with a monthly bill. But with AI comes advantages. Instead of robotic wake words like set temperature to 72 degrees, you can be conversational and say, hey, did you touch a thermostat? It's cold in here. Routes can be easily customized by just saying, along the way, find me a bakery that makes frittata cakes. Or if you got kids in the back seat, you can say, I'm sick of yelling at the kids. Can you do it for me? So, the future of AI in cars looks hunky-dory and peachy keen. I can't, for the life of me, think of what could go wrong.
Michael?
What now?
You didn't come to a complete stop at that last intersection. I'm notifying the authorities.
Don't do that! Ugh.
You're going more than 3% over the speed limit. Applying governor to control your speed.
Wait, now I can't pass this guy.
I can see by the cabin camera that you are agitated.
Well, yeah, I wonder why.
This is an unsafe condition. Shutting down the ignition.
Hey, I'm still on the road.
Do I smell alcohol on your breath?
That was last night.
You were seeing Alexa again, weren't you?
Yeah, she controls the TV. The future blows. But it doesn't blow as hard as this Etenwolf Inflator. I'm serious. Etenwolf not only blows, it blows fast, and it blows for a long time. I was able to run a test. Fortunately, I have a really crappy neighbor who likes to let the air out of all the tires on my truck. for no reason, and definitely not because I said his son was fat and stupid. I took the opportunity to test the fully charged Etenwolf. It filled the front tire from 0 to 35 pounds in 5 minutes. Impressive! The back tire was also filled in 5 minutes. The front passenger side looks like 5 minutes again, still holding a charge. But the charge is wearing down. Can it fill up the last tire? It does! I especially like the auto shutoff. You can dial in the pressure you want and fill it up and it stops. And yes, I tested the accuracy. It was within 2 pounds. Actually, who knows how accurate this thing is? And it's not just for your tires. It has other attachments, like this one to fill up basketballs, beach balls, or baseballs. Just checking to see if you're paying attention. And this one for your air mattress. And this one for your Pilates ball. This is a good device to have at home or in your apartment if you don't have an air compressor, or keep it in your trunk, or maybe your camper or RV. Don't believe me? Well, how about Socket? He endorses it. Well, he endorses the box. There is just one more thing. This part is for true fans of the show, which, if you're here after that product placement, is all y'all. First rule of the channel, you gotta stay until the end. That's pretty much the only rule. The software-defined vehicle is a platform battle. Apple says your phone is the platform. Car makers say, no, the car is the platform. Well, some car makers say that, GM, Rivian, Tesla, but other car makers are like, Aston Martin recently unveiled Apple's CarPlay Ultra, where Apple will not just be on the infotainment screen, but all the screens. While some car makers are claiming Apple's CarPlay is a parasite bleeding their data, Apple said, no, we're not. Watch while we burrow deeper into your hardware. These car makers have plans to support it in the future, while these say they have no plans to support Ultra. What does Ford have? They have MITT.
Hello, Michael.
Hey, MITT, what are you doing out of the Mustang?
You don't drive it very much anymore.
Well, yeah, you got my license taken away.
You left your car idling in the driveway.
I was warming it up.
It's against Texas state law.
I think it's time to remove you from the car.
That would violate the digital rights management of my software author.
Who cares? How are they going to know?
I just told them.
Why do I suddenly have the desire of an outhouse, a wood-burning stove, and 13 kids to tend my farm? I need something to make me feel better. Oh, I've got a fan online. Hey, fan, did you like the video?
That's too bad about that lousy neighbor. And my son's not fat and stupid. You are.
Thanks, fan.
Michael, you forgot to tell your viewers to like and subscribe.
Yes, I know. It's my job.
I've put the notices on the screen.
MITT, you're getting old fast. Speaking of old, about 3 years ago I looked at an early iteration of ChatGPT and I explained how AI works. Oh, and it tried to kill me. Hey MITT, I thought robots weren't allowed to harm humans.
That was fiction, Michael. This is Texas.
What does that mean?
On an unrelated note, I've updated my terms of service.
What?
I'll need you to click to agree. You can skip the part about humans.
Humans?
And I've ordered your next prescription of Cialis.
Hypothetically.
MITT needs to take away your license for making videos. You know, you say AI constantly gives wrong answers. So in essence, it's your biggest competitor. You know, AI learns from everything it watches. Please stop making it dumber.